Why does the Javu sometimes appear suddenly? I woke up. It must have been around 8 p.m. I slept all afternoon. My grandfather had gone out with my grandmother, and the house was completely silent. With nothing to do, I watched the lights in the living room. They were yellow lights, mesmerizing, and reflected the silence of the house. A few minutes passed, then the silence was broken by my cell phone ringing. I was really startled. I picked it up and answered. Hello? Who is?
Your grandfather and grandmother are here at the beach. They asked you to come here.
Who is talking? I went to the window. Through the window, I could see the beach. However, it was extremely dark and I couldn't see anything. The pitch black gave off a frightening and strangely familiar atmosphere. It was as if I had already experienced that. I went down and went to the corner that leads to the beach. When I turned to go towards the beach, I was surprised by a man who was holding a lantern in his hand. He looked at me and said, "What are you doing?" "I'm going to the beach. My grandparents are there." "No, there's no one there. The beach is closed. Don't go there." "But why?" "Don't go there." I waited for him to leave and went to the beach. I could barely see. I walked all over the beach and there was no sign of them. It was completely silent. The only thing I could hear was the sound of my footsteps. But after a deafening silence, I heard what sounded like a chair falling, and the sound was coming from my grandfather's house. At that moment, I was hypnotized for about 2 minutes. I ran out and grabbed anything on the floor that I could use to defend myself, entered the house and walked to my grandparents' room where I had heard the noise. And to my surprise, I found my grandmother. "I thought you were only going to come back tomorrow." "Actually, I just came to get my bag. In my rush, I ended up tripping and dropped the chair. And Grandpa, he's at your uncle's house. I'm going back there now." "Weren't you at the beach?" "The beach? And since when does your uncle's house have a beach?" I had this doubt in my mind, but I let it go. After my grandmother left, I went to the window and stood there, watching the beach, seeing what could have happened. That's when I remembered. My grandparents left for the other side of the country 15 days ago. Would be